Hey guys, it's Adam from TreehouseEDC.com, and today I'm bringing you a review on another ThorFire product, the C8s flashlight. Just do a quick unboxing. So it comes in a pretty small box, made in China. This is the upgraded, quote-unquote upgraded edition. I'm not sure what it's upgraded with. I think maybe the body design near the tail cap. So when you get it, open it up. Bubble wrap, lanyard, oh, actually 2 O-rings, and a little manual. That's it. So once you pull it out of the bubble wrap, it's a nice little light. Now this is primarily a throwing light, so a spotlight. So it has a fairly large reflector built in. It looks really good up close. Has a Cree XML2 LED according to the manual. I'm not sure if that is accurate because actually on my other ThorFire product, the BD04, it also claims to have this LED. The XML2. I don't know if there are subtypes in that class, but this C8s actually produces a white light. This BD04 produces, I'll compare them in a second, produces a more blue light, blue hue. It doesn't tell us the lumen outputs for each mode, but the maximum is 900 lumens. So this is fits into the category of a good spotlight, and it's actually a pretty small light. It takes a single 18650 rechargeable lithium-ion battery, and for the size, it's a fairly small, compact light. It's a pretty large head though, so it can throw light pretty far. Let's take a look at the body, or the build quality of this thing. So it actually consists of 3 sections. We have the tail cap with a large rubber button. Actually has anodized threads, and you can stand this on the tail cap. It's flat. Show you the tail cap. All the components look pretty good. They're clean and they look machined pretty well. And then this middle section where the battery sits comes off as well. There are double O-rings on both sides of the casing. These threads, however, are not anodized. And then we have the head of the flashlight. There's the circuitry, or the contact. And you can actually disassemble this another time here. There's I don't know if you can make that out. There's a line. Let me zoom in. And then you can take off the reflector. And this actually, just take this out. So you can see this. So it is actually a Cree branded LED. Way down in there, if you can make that out. But a pretty hefty reflector. Let's put that back in there. There's actually a little cushion around that LED. I don't know if you can make it out. That gives you a really good seal between the bottom of the reflector and the LED base plate. And there's the lens. I think it's some sort of mineral glass lens. It doesn't sound or feel like plastic. Just tighten that back up. We have some large fins here for heat dissipation. I haven't run this for a prolonged time yet, but I have gone on like an hour walk, having it on turbo mode for extended periods of time. and it did not get that hot. So let's throw a battery in. I'll show you the modes that it comes with, or the user interface. Let's get this off. So it just has different brightness modes and then a hidden strobe function. So let's go through it. So just hit the back button. Half press will advance the mode. So that was actually high. This is the dimmest mode. It's very dim. It's like a moonlight setting. Go back. There's low, medium, high. And so those are the 4 modes. And then to access the strobe mode, you just do a quick double tap. And I actually really like that feature because if you watch my video on the BDO4, it's just, oh, there I'm in strobe. That's the mode I always find myself coming into, and it's kind of inconvenient. So I really like the hidden strobe, and the low light setting is very good for, like, if you're camping and you don't want to ruin your night sight. But it has a very nice hue to it. It's much wider. I don't know, compare it here. Can't really see on the camera. But this light, the ThorFire BDO4, is a blue LED. Even though they say they're the same, this is much wider. Comparing this to my Phoenix TK1, it has a very similar hue to it. I'll just give you a comparison shot. They're similar size. This is more streamlined or more narrow than this guy. One thing I've watched reviews on this before, and people never mentioned the one thing I don't like about it. When going through the user interface, actually there's a slight delay. It's almost like a quarter of a second delay between when you turn it on or switch modes. So if you watch my thumb, I depressed now. Did you see the delay in the switching of the modes? It's really noticeable. Even this cheaper BDO4 instantly changes on the half press. There's a good delay between this. If you can't see it on camera, I apologize, but it's there. I don't know if it's just my unit. I doubt it. I bet it's just the circuitry included inside of this guy. It's not a deal breaker. I mean, this flashlight is around $16 on Amazon. That does not include a battery. So it's a very inexpensive light, and if that's its biggest qualm, or if that's its biggest downfall, so be it. You get what you pay for. It does not have a half press depression on. You just have to full click. Like lights like the Phoenix TK21, you can just half press and it turns on. So it does not have that feature. So next up, I'm going to cut to beam shots. I'll be comparing it to the Phoenix TK21 and also this guy, just for comparison's sake. And then I'll cut back to my final remarks. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Alright, hey guys. I'm back. It's freezing outside and pretty dark under this great testing ground. This is under the Woodrow Wilson Bridge. And I brought you here to show you test these lights. So I'm using my ThorFire BDO4, the floodlight, on high. And this is absolutely the best testing ground I think I could find in the flood setting. Just walking over to a point where I can test these lights, the throw of these lights. under the bridge. And there's probably a few thousand yards in front of us, all under this bridge. As you can see, as I zoom in, it's illuminated by the ThorFire. So it's actually, ThorFire works pretty well, but that's not why we're here. Testing the C8s. Grab it on my pocket, layered up. Alright, so here's the C8s, ThorFire C8s on, I think the low setting. You can see a little bit. Let's bump it up. You can see the pillar in the distance. That's probably like 50 yards or a little bit more. See those. See the top of the bridge. It's a few hundred feet tall. Let's bump it up again. Alright, now I can almost see all the way to the back of that. Zoom in. Where the bridge is actually meeting the ground. Okay, focus. And there's turbo. 900 lumens. Oh yeah, clear as day. I can see all the way down. Oh, wow. Let's turn that off. Let's turn around. There's the Potomac River. This thing is insane. Definitely could throw some light. That is the ThorFire. Let's compare that to my trusted Phoenix TK21, which is about half the lumen count on turbo. Make sure I'm in turbo. Alright, I'm in turbo mode. I'll illuminate the same. It's throwing it about the same as the high mode on the ThorFire. I'll get them both out at the same time. So here's the high mode on the ThorFire. Here's the turbo. Sorry, it's a long that. Turbo, the ThorFire. Here's the turbo on the Phoenix. So actually, I get a little bit more distance with the ThorFire on its highest setting. Like I can see clearly where that meets the ground. The ThorFire doesn't, like 4 parking lots that way. It is just impressive. Alright guys, here is actually the beam shot of both turbo on both lights. The C8s is on the left and the Phoenix is on the right. Maybe not be able to detect it in the camera, but the ThorFire is much brighter. You really see it on the cement. So far, pretty impressed. Okay guys, we're back from the test shot with ThorFire C8s and comparing it to Phoenix and the ThorFire BDO4, and we saw how it stacked up against these two lights. And you know, it's a pretty good little light for the money. It has a very good anodized finish for $16. It's a very matte black. Let me zoom in and focus for you. I mean, the machining is done well. Has a great reflector. I don't see any defects in it. And for $16, I don't think you can go wrong. My one complaint is the delay in the mode switching, but for the money, you get what you pay for, I think. So If you like this review, please give us a thumbs up, like the video, and stay tuned for more. Thanks, guys. Catch you next time.